DayZ IntenZ Winter Playthrough Part 10. We pick up with Joseph, hunkered down just outside of Balota. He's had a meal, but he's running low on supplies. He needs to go into Balota, and he needs to get real lucky. He needs to find what is needed to be able to sustain his trip west. He's made a very bold attempt to head towards the prison. Maybe he can find refuge there. Maybe he can find some decent weapons. But it's a long way away from his present position, bearing in mind the supplies he has on him. Moldy food, yes, but the correct medication, no. He doesn't have any medication that would allow him to eat the moldy food without getting the consequences, the bad consequences. He does, however, have rope. He does, however, have a pristine fishing rod. Now, blades, sickle, bone knife, badly damaged. So we could get a couple of worms. And we can try for fish, but then our blades are going to be ruined, so we're not going to be able to cut the fish. So we're not even factoring in bumping into hostiles. We've treated our cold. We've treated our cold. So, in terms of our present state of health, it looks pretty good, but that water, that food, will soon drop into yellow unless we do something about it. He's got himself a better melee weapon now, though. A nailed baseball bat will put a Z down quicker than one that hasn't got nails protruding out of it. So while we've got the heat buff, we plod on. Now look, someone's grabbed some sticks there. Pretty sure that's a bush that has been torn down. Somebody got a fire going in Balota, on the outskirts here, maybe? We're probably going to find out pretty soon. Shall I make an executive decision? One of those decisions that you live and die from in DayZ. Do I dig up the worms so that I can fish, potentially catch fish, but then still have to find a blade to prepare the fish before we can cook it and eat it? Oh. So if we can get 2 worms with the sickle, we will still have a use or 2 on the bone knife, which would mean we could cut at least one of the fish up and cook it. I knew that was going to happen. So our sickle is gone. Bone knife is the only blade we have, but we do have worms now for our pristine bone hook. So what about looting our way down towards the beach, the coast, and giving these 2 worms a chance to catch us something? That's what a nailed baseball bat does for you. Ooh. Pretty big find there in terms of our self-defense capacity. Slugs. paper for kindling. We now have a full pump action shotgun that's only damaged 6 slugs in it. Not a bad first find in the first house we go in. Gunshots in the distance? Keep that a sec. Aha, let me try something. Oh no. I thought it might allow me to craft a bone knife without using an actual blade. Oh shit. Oh no. How did I not see these? Start on it. Joseph zombie awareness. Takes a cut and a hematoma, but you live. For now. I'm searching these in the hope of finding some more matches, maybe a lighter, maybe even a blade. That's more rope we don't need. Oh, when you search the man, Joseph, search the man. You need to get moving because you're cold already, boy. And the conditions are interfering with Joseph's vision. His vision seems to be lagging, if you know what I mean. I don't think we're even in a position here to get into too many fights with Zeds. We do want to be searching the correct type of buildings that may produce bladed articles. Oh my word. Now our fishing trip. Looking pretty decent. What? I hate that sound. When they open those doors, you almost feel like another one's coming out of there for you, not the one that you're fighting. I saw smoke in the distance then. We should just push through the cold. People planting? Just get inside a second out of the bitter cold. It's still gonna be cold, but just out of the bitter cold a second. We don't have a container for water, which is a shame, because I would love to fill up at that well. maybe just a sip. Can we get away with a sip without being sniped by some devious person? The beach is just beyond that little hill. That's enough sipping, Joe. That's enough sipping. Get your stick, son. We can make a fireplace by our chosen fishing locations, should we wish. Let's head down towards the beach. See if we've got anything. Oh, there's a little bit of, dare I say, protection there from... I mean, it's still quite open down here. Don't get me wrong. There's another stick. Maybe if we go over this pipe, will it allow us to jump the pipe? It will. Oh no. Let me try something. It's very important, though, that we get the fire going. Oof. Shit. We know you're cold, Joe. We know you're cold. With a bit of luck, if we can get this fire going, we can get fishing next to a fire. Use this for fuel. Go and get our stick for our fishing rod. We can, depending on the success of our lighter and our fire lighting skills, we may be able to get another fire going to cook the fish. We might not have to cook it in the open. Maybe we can go back to our house to cook any fish we are lucky enough to catch. The hatchet is huge because we can cut 1 or 2 fish up with the hatchet. The bone knife, I mean, we could use the bone knife to make another bone knife with the bone we've got. Right, we don't need any of that. That. Fishing rod. Actually gone to minus blue now. Light blue. So we're not actually losing. we're not losing health through our heat, we might as well save the fire to potentially cook the fish here. Might seem a bit open, but who's going to come down here unless they've got the same intention, or if they really want to check those sheds over there. I mean, not a lot of people are going to steer far away from the town itself and the houses and the shelter that is provided there. If I can catch him, we've caught something. It's wellies. Oh my God, it's wellies. Oh dear God, Joseph. Life is teasing you again, son. The gods of DayZ are teasing you. They're saying we'll give you a bite, but we're not going to necessarily make it edible. We try for a second attempt. We may have to dig up more worms, or we will have to dig up more worms with our bone knife that is badly damaged. Leaving our hatchet as the only way of cutting the fish as we drop to yellow food, yellow hunger. Making the necessity to have a successful fishing trip even that more prominent and important. We've caught something else, have we? It's another set of wellies. DayZ really is playing a cruel, cruel mistress today. She's playing the part of a cruel mistress. Not allowing Joseph to even feel the wet, slimy scales of a potentially juicy fish between his fingers. We use our bone knife down until it is depleted in use, but we do get 2 more attempts at fishing from the bone knife, and in fact it's still in use, the bone knife. Maybe something turning in Joseph's favour for a change. Is it third time lucky as we slightly change up our fishing spot? It's an immediate catch. And it is a fish. It is a fish. Lord our Saviour, it is a fish. Can the Lord provide a second juicy morsel as he shifts slightly to the left for luck and prays for another successful bite? We have enough wellies to open up a small shoe shop, so we certainly don't need any more of those. We have something. It's a catch. What is it though? It's a fish. Our hook is still pristine. We need the one final use of our knife to break down our fishing rod. We have no room to carry the fishing rod. Our rope goes back in our bag. Our bone knife should be ruined. It's not ruined. It gives us one more use to sharpen the stick that is needed to cook the fish. It is now ruined. We prepare the fish with our hatchet. How many uses will this hatchet give us? We'll soon find out. That's one use. This is going to be a second use. As long as we light our fire successfully with the limited attempts we have on this lighter, And our hatchet still has a use, at least one use left on it. And that use is to craft a bone knife, which we now know will have 3 uses, as opposed to perhaps the one remain in use on the hatchet. Perhaps? Yeah. Oh, it's crafted a pristine bone knife. A pristine bone knife. Is Joseph gonna get another chance to move further west towards the intrigue in prison? Or will he have to take his fish with him and hope to find a way to ignite a fire further down the road? He can't have many uses left on this lighter. He needs it to work badly. Again, the gods are toying with him. The food is there. He has it. He can't eat it though. He can't cook it up. He can cook it up. He can cook it up. He starts with a piece. His survival has gone up a level. Needs the fire to catch sufficiently. He puts his fish in his bag for safekeeping, in case he has to move hastily. He's getting warm by the fire as he cooks his meal. Maybe Joseph hasn't done with this life just yet. The prospect of seeing more of this bitter wasteland teasing him, pulling him west as he gets sick again with a cold. But he's pretty sure he has some cold medication on him. The first priority though is cooking this fish. We can address any cold issue. Once that's done, we can't afford to let this fire burn. And possibly not be reignited. We need to use every minute, every second of this fire to cook, hopefully, all 4 fish fillets that we can then eat as we walk down the coast towards the next town, which Joseph has heard contains a well and a police department, a police station, where perhaps he could get more ammunition. He's already got something for the shoddy now, but we do need to address this cold, so that sneeze will give us a way to Zed and people. Put the bag on our back with the fish in it and use the cooked fish as an extra bit of insulation, a bit of a heat pack, if you like, a heat buff. Coming through our backpack, warming our back as we sit here, cooking our 3rd piece. It will definitely get Joe back into the white. But I think we all know now from experience how long that will last, even with fish. It's only fire ignition now that would be an issue, though. With a pristine bone knife, we've still got the rope, we've still got the fishing hook. It would just be the ability to pick up enough worms with the knife and be able to gut and prepare the fish. And then we've maybe got 2 sparks of a lighter left, 3 if we're lucky. So we'd have to get really lucky with the fire ignition if we don't find more matches or a flare. Things we've got to be on the lookout for again. as we move down the coast, further west, to the prison and maybe even the western evacuation point Joe's heard of, where a military safe point, checkpoint may still be there. Maybe there'll be people on the way, friendly people who can help. Maybe. Joseph needs to address his cold, though. He needs to address his cold. And he knows he has the medication that will do that. As he puts his balaclava away. Okay. Decision made to eat by the fire while it's still burning. See the next town. Not far at all. You know, smoke is probably visible if you were looking in the right direction. We have our backpack. As we now have ammunition for our shotgun, we might as well bring it up to a better condition, a worn condition, less likely to break and ruin in the middle of any potential gunfight. Let's keep going. Let's move away from our fire. Keep going west. The medication has kicked in quickly. It's killed the cold. Dead in its tracks. We could have walked to that building and cooked there, but we don't want to get our feet unnecessarily wet. We're going to skirt these little swamplands and try and stay as close to the train tracks and main road as we dare. What can we find in this next town that would be of use to us? Something that could repair clothing, blades, more ammunition, people. Probably be our priority, but we don't want to go looting in an area that will put us in unnecessary danger. So if there are too many zombies surrounding a facility that we may have wanted to look at, we may have to reconsider. Make sure our secondary weapon is at hand. Also, a friend of mine gave me a tip that if you have something on your left shoulder, a weapon, it will draw very, very slightly quicker if you pull it out with the hotkey. It will draw slightly quicker than if it's on your right shoulder. I don't know the truth behind it. Here is that next town. We need to scan ahead. We need to be alive to other potential survivors. Any obvious signs of life, fires, smoke. If it wasn't for the zombies in the distance, we'd be forgiven for saying how beautiful the scenery is. Look at that. And then out of the corner of your eye you might catch a glimpse of one of the undead and realise what horror you're actually in. Keep an eye out. We're keeping an eye out. The easiest way to make room for this is to tie our rope around our belt. Make it into a belt, I beg your pardon. We then have space for that kitchen knife, which could obviously be huge. We have space in our bag now for our bandana, formerly eating, drinking. Someone's had a fire. Someone's had a fire recently. You might be able to tell how recent. The fire is stone cold, so it wasn't very, very recent, but it wasn't that long ago. If I was someone who just had a fire there, where would I go? I would almost certainly go to the well to fill up, resupply, and agua. We need to be on our toes. There are a lot of zombies in this town. We do not want to get into an altercation with all of them. Those shops over there could be fruitful, but I don't make them part of my remit at the moment. I think time is of the essence. Sorry. Let's just drink and listen for any aggro, any clues, any footsteps before we make our way down towards the police department, which is only just down that road. Drinking with our hands. I don't know whether our bandages are dirty enough to give us sepsis, but we have the medication to cure that once, I believe. Let's edge our way closer to the police department. Try and stay as stealthy as possible. That's just been helped by an increase to our ability to be sneaky. We may have to dispatch this Zed though. Indeed, we do. Zombie trapped in the house. We know he can still open the door though, so we have to be aware of that. We will move towards this zombie as he is aggroed on us. Cut the distance. Dispatch. Not search, because we are in the open pretty much. We walk slowly. We make ourselves an easy target for any hostile. Diazinon. We're not sure what that does. Down. There's another one though. Oh, taking a blow. We didn't need to. The bat does the job. Let's address our stealth. We can't do anything with it. Okay. He has a Pioneer magazine on him, which has 5.5 ammo in it, and obviously if we found a Pioneer, that would be very useful. Where is that gas hitting? I don't think the gas hits here. I think that gas was a Balota military base. It just sounded closer than it was. Let's see. If there's anything in the police station worth having. Doors were closed, so we gotta be careful. Another shotgun. It's empty. Check every room thoroughly. A taser. We're not interested. An MP5 worn. We have no magazine. We don't have an abundance of 9mm, it seems. Silly carrying that. And we have no ammunition, no magazine for it. There's pretty much nothing else here. No signs of life. Oh. Oh dear me. Now, the issue I have now okay. We need to play around with our inventory because we now have a rifle for Joseph that has a scope. We have ammunition for it. But we need to make room for the bat because we need to holster that onto our shoulder. Let me just check how long this has been going for. Let me see. Can we fit the bat there? We can. We leave the beans. We inspect the gun, which has one in the chamber. We have shots in the magazine. We have a spare magazine there. And in terms of extra ammunition, no. We don't have extra ammunition. We can put the 9mm bullet in there. Creates an extra slot there. And we now have a rifle that gives us the ability to scope, the ability to range attack someone at range, potentially hunt deer, other animals. What I was really hoping to find was a police flare. We could make it a lot easier. A lot easier. to light our next fire. But I believe we take that as a win, finding a rifle. We had a sip at the well. We've still got a couple of pieces of fish on us. There are military containers in this direction that we can have a look at. Some extra 5.45 ammunition now would be an extra popular find. We are going to have to deal with these Zeds. And we're going to deal with them and we're going to search them. Even though they're in the open, they may drop matches or a lighter. Something else useful. It's a tough Zed. Took 2 power hits, including one when they were running towards us. And they have nothing. Improvised hand wraps are still only warm. Oh no. Very necessary that was. That's first zombie to go down first time. Very grateful for that. We're gonna get cold again soon. Oh, mercy. We have a flare to light another. We've eaten 3 of our fish, have we? Okay. Face covering back on. Flare's pretty huge. The military containers, that one's disappointing. Binoculars we don't need, we have a scope on our rifle. Will this chap have something of use for us? No. What about these sheds? These are the last sort of build. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's a glow stick. I believe we have one on our bag. No, we don't. So we're gonna take it. Okay. Something to fix up our clothing would have been nice. I don't want to investigate too deep there and end up finding too many Zeds. There is a pub over there, though. Maybe worth going there and settling in before heading to the prison. Because, as you will see shortly, the next port of call will be the prison. But that involves a swim. A swim that will get us incredibly cold in these conditions. Meaning we will need to have a heat buff in our system before we attempt the swim. We would then need to have a fire, certainly on the other side of the swim, to dry our clothing. Well, we didn't kill those zombies. We didn't kill those zombies. killed zombies. Who did and where are they now? Strong case for the prison. I was hoping I would find someone perished, to be honest, but it seems like whoever it was knew what they were doing. Interesting. There's the prison. There's our destination up ahead. But someone is in the vicinity. Someone was killing zombies back there around the pub that we didn't kill. We didn't do it. Someone has the idea that we have, and that is hit the prison. The water that is between this mainland and the prison island itself offering some salvage, some separation from the mainland. It's a little bit of security. It might be false security, but potential security blanket that you would feel if there was a moat between your castle and marauding attackers. It may be worthwhile taking the swim and then getting our fire on the other side to recover any health lost during the swim, to dry our clothes, to get the heat buff. Would that person who searched around the pub, would they have instead just gone to the next town? The next town over, perhaps? Perhaps they're not bold enough, as bold as Joe, to do the swim and go over there themselves. As our athletic ability increases, it will certainly help our swimming. There is one place I want to stop before we attempt the swim and before we go over. Attempt to go over to the island. And there is a group of sheds down here that you can see, and some fishing boats that might have hooks on them. Might have other handy goods. Joseph's tired as well, but he won't be able to sleep. As cold as he is now. What do we have here? Actual food? Canned tuna. Very nice. Car radiator is no use to us. Can't see any lights or any obvious fires or anything over there. Battery might be useful. Look at this. I've never seen so much food. Actual food that we could defrost when we get over to the prison. We can replace the last bit of fish I'm about to eat in this shed as we reevaluate what has just gone on, where we've just come from. We can eat the spaghetti. We can actually leave the moldy food behind. Eat our last bit of fish, give us some energy before the swim. Energy required We've picked up a rifle, an SSG. We already had ammo. It had one shot in it, and we already had a couple more shots in a magazine. We picked up ammunition for our shotgun, which we still have. We've got 6 in the gun, 4 there. The SSG. Pristine bone knife we made off a bone. Oh, we have an EpiPen as well, so we can make the swim over quicker. Picked up a Pioneer magazine. CZ mag in case we find one. We put nails on our bat. We have a couple of uses left on a lighter, but we also have a flare, which will be huge when we get over there to defrost our spaghetti and our tuna that we've now picked up. But our mission, when you see us again, will be clear. Go for the prison. See if we can find any other survivors to befriend or betray. But once again, thank you for watching Joseph go through his pain. Live in the pain with him. And if you want to see more, you know what to do. Catch you in the next one, fellas.